there are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it.
Welcome to the Star Wars Canon Library, guys. You heard the man, there were stories, and they're all true. My name's Brian, I'm the librarian here at the Canon Library, and as librarian, it is my job to not only tell you the good stuff in Star Wars canon, but also the stuff that is not so great. Not necessarily saying that this one wasn't that great, but it wasn't really high on the list. Guys, this is my review for the novel Phasma, alright? Most of you guys may actually just stop the video here after knowing that I wasn't a big fan of it, but I'm going to tell you guys why I wasn't a real big fan of it here in a minute. But this is a novel that I've seen a lot of people kind of split down the center on whether they liked it or not. And before I read the book, I saw a couple reviews of people split like that, where it was, you know, oh man, I absolutely loved it, or man, I really didn't care for it that much. And to be honest, I'm closer to neutral on it, but I'm more on the negative side. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad book. It's not that I didn't enjoy it at all. It's just, to be completely honest, I didn't feel like it was really Star Wars a whole lot throughout the book. The only reason I even knew it was in the Star Wars universe was because they were talking about General Hux and, yeah, you know, and the Stormtroopers. Like that was the only reason I knew it was in the Star Wars universe. The Phasma novel is essentially what it says on the cover. We get our history of Phasma, where she came from, what got her into the First Order, essentially her origin story, really. And obviously, if you look at the back cover, we've got this red stormtrooper here, Captain Cardinal. And essentially with this book, the way it's written is there's a present day and then there's a past tense in this book. And the present day is actually Cardinal interviewing a Resistance member trying to get information on Phasma, so that he can essentially rat her out and expose her for what he believes she really is, a traitor. Now, all the present day stuff is written in present tense, just like the Aftermath series was. But then when you go to the past tense, it's just written past tense. When you go to the past, it's just written like a normal novel would be, you know. And it can throw you off a little bit if you're not expecting something like that. And it did throw me off a little bit at first, but I got over that really, really quickly, to be honest. Now, the reason I said this doesn't really feel like Star Wars is mainly because of the actual history they gave Phasma. I didn't mind it a whole lot. I actually thought it was kind of cool. But to me personally, because of where she came from and the kind of lifestyle she was living before the First Order found her, I almost had more of a Vikings vibe. The television show on History Channel, Vikings. I had more of that kind of vibe more than anything. And like I said, it didn't really feel like Star Wars a whole lot until we got to where she got off of her home planet with Hux. And you really see, like, you also see what happened to General Hux's father, the original Hux, the one from Aftermath. You find out what happened to him, and you find out where Phasma came from, even where her silver armor came from, which was actually kind of interesting. I already knew where it came from, but I really wanted them to kind of touch more on it than what they did in the book, and really it was more of just like a 2-page thing. It was like, oh, and here's where armor came from, and it was right at the end of the book. So not a whole lot as far as anything galaxy changing happening in this book. To be honest, it wasn't a whole, I mean, there were a couple of jaw-dropping moments in it because of how brutal it could be, especially still on Phasma's home planet. And like I said, it had this Vikings vibe to it. So there was actually, like, you know, a beheading that happened, and the way some of these people died, it was just like, my God, that's brutal. And you learn a lot more about Phasma. After reading this novel, the whole, okay, I'll drop the shields on Starkiller Base for you, no problem, don't shoot me, that makes a lot more sense now after reading this book. As well as the Phasma comic that is currently being published. But we're learning more about Phasma now. We've seen the trailer for The Last Jedi. Phasma's going to have, obviously, a lot more to do in the next movie. I think they realized they messed up with the way they used her in the marketing for The Force Awakens, and then the way she was used in The Force Awakens. I think they realized what they did there. We're going to get a lot more Phasma coming up, but just as far as this novel alone goes, I don't know, it's just, I didn't mind it so much. It took me a little while to read, but it didn't The only gripe I have is it didn't feel like Star Wars to me. That's really the only negative thing I have to say about this book. But guys, if you really want to know a whole lot more about Phasma, especially if you were like me and thought she was really underused in The Force Awakens and want to see more of why she is the way she is, where she comes from, stuff like that, go pick up this book. You won't be disappointed. If you're just like me and you have to read everything because you want to know everything, it might be a little rough to get through. But that's just my personal opinion, guys. That's just me. It doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. You guys may love it if you've read it. That is awesome. I'm not saying you're an idiot. I'm not saying you're the smartest person on earth. It doesn't... Everybody has their own opinion, and I can respect that. So, guys, let me know in the comment section below if you have read Phasma. What did you think of it? What were some of your favorite parts? Try to stay away from spoilers, mainly because not everybody has read the book. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. And until next time, this is Brian signing off, and may the Force be with you. Hey guys, make sure to check out the website. It is www.starwarscanonlibrary.com. You can email us anytime with any questions for any Star Wars canon material whatsoever. It's just starwarscanonlibrary@gmail.com. Make sure to check out our Facebook page as well. It is facebook.com/starwarscanonlibrary. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. There's plenty more videos coming where this one came from. If you really liked it, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'd sure appreciate it.